this season we got to see a lot more. We went to the countryside and did this like rail park where you're like on these bikes and you're just seeing all these beautiful mountains. It was so many things where I just like, I hold it so close to my heart of like, what a beautiful place, you know?
Who's the first person that you called when you guys found out that you were getting a second season?
My mom. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like mine was like my sister.
Oh.
My mom reads all my emails. She knows. Wow. So it's my sister. It was only my sister.
You know, she's a good mom. I know that you've been in the industry a while, so, you know.
Didn't we have a group phone call?
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we did.
No, actually, all the casts had a group phone call, and then we got noticed, didn't we?
I think so. I can't remember now.
I don't know.
It was a while ago.
I was sleeping, and Anna called me.
Yes,
FaceTime.
you were.
Yeah, I'm right, right?
You were. I was with Gia, so I didn't need to call her. So we were in the whole group phone call
Zoom,
situation.
something
Yeah,
call,
we were doing that. Yeah.
We were all together.
So Kitty obviously does this grand gesture by going to Korea for love. And I was wondering if either one of you are a romantic at heart and if you guys knew what your love language was or is.
While I was talking, I chose one for sure, was active behavior.
It is, I wrote them down. Physical touch, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, the one that I love the most, and receiving gifts.
Two things on the top list was active service and words of affirmation. And then the next one was gifting.
How about you?
I think active service, but I'm not sure in this technical terms. I would go for personally, I think my love language would be just reaching out and asking for a meal or something. Yeah.
So it's quality time.
Quality time. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like the things people list, which is like the gifts, acts of service, and stuff like that.
And
I
sometimes
feel like,
they can be combined too.
Yeah, I feel like mine is a combination, but above all, the combination is consideration. So it's like if it's an act of service type thing, it's because you thought of me, you considered something. Like I'm holding all this stuff and you considered me, you know? I think consideration above all, you know? It's like even if you give me a gift, it's like, oh, you brought this up in a conversation and I knew, or this is something from your childhood. That consideration is my love language for sure.
Oh, I love
You know?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am a hopeless romantic for sure. And I think my love language, it's like active service. Out of the 5, I think active service and gifts are up there. And I recently made the connection. It's probably because that's how, my friend was like, "Oh, that's an Asian thing." I was like, "Is it an Asian thing? Why? Why is it Asian?" Because he was like, because a lot of our Asian parents express love that way to us. It's like they're not such a words of affirmation people, but they will show you by what they do for you. And I also received, gifts from them on Christmas. And so I feel like I'm like, oh yes, that makes so much sense. So that's how I received love from them. So that's also become my love language too.
How did you react when you finally connected all that together?
Honestly, I was like, how did I not realize this sooner? Obviously it's going to be connected to my parents, but then I never specifically thought about their love language to me until that moment. And I mean, the friend who said that to me was also Asian. So I was like, why do you say that? That's so interesting. He was like, well, because it's the same for a lot of us. Yeah, right?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys are able to film in Korea. And so with the second season, having the first season under your belt, what were things that you were looking forward to being able to go back to Korea and be able to experience it all over again? Regan?
It was completely different because COVID was really surging in the first season. And so a lot of things were closed, a lot of things you couldn't go to. and a lot of things we didn't want to go to because you don't want to make anybody sick on set and anything like that, even if you're in mass. So this season we got to see a lot more. We went to the countryside and did this like rail park where you're like on these bikes and you're just seeing all these beautiful mountains. It was so many things where I just like, I hold it so close to my heart of like, what a beautiful place, so rich in culture, so rich in like so many elements that I'm like, it's a real blessing to be, in Korea and filming on location like that. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I loved sharing this experience with my foreign friends and cast members because it's like obviously my hometown, but also I get to go back home, which is always such a big blessing, especially from LA. That flight is long. I can't afford to go back and forth as often as I would love to because all of my family's there. So for me, it's like a huge blessing for me to go back for work to Korea. So like everything coming together. Such a huge blessing.
So you get to go home and be with your family.
Exactly. I know, and this show has let me do that a lot of times. So everything was just such a big blessing.